If you're watching this, this is the raw, uncut version, so thank you. Hey, welcome back. My name is Alex. I'm a freelance videographer and filmmaker, and today we are taking a look at BTS's Wings tour trailer. If you want to see my full uncut reaction, the Patreon link is in the description below. Sorry, the cut was because I said that literally 10 times, so that's all you missed. I'm bad with words. I don't think I need... There's not like a song, right? I didn't look up any lyrics for this one. I've been advised to just watch the whole thing as one piece first before I analyze anything. He's on a swing in the void. The like music, the sound effects for the swing. Now it's on fire, and it's also made of glass. Interesting. Oh, okay. Okay. Whoa, whoa. This is amazing. There's a lot going on, a lot of beautiful images. Whoa. Okay. Oh, is that his actual wings? It is. Yes, I've seen these in some breakdown videos about wings, but there's his wings. I've never actually seen them. Okay, we got the green smoke. And that must be gin cracking. That is gin. Oh my god, there's so much beautiful stuff. Wow. Oh my god. So he literally was a statue. That makes sense, I guess. Wow. That is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Okay, let's start looking at some of these. Oh my god. I'm working on my version of a breakdown for Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So I saw a lot of the same imagery in this that's in Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It also probably helps that I've gone through like the entire BU, aside from this, I think. I don't know what this, oh, I guess the swing is like innocence, right? Because that's how Blood, Sweat, and Tears started. Everybody went into the museum. They had all these different things, and they had all of these different like representations of innocence. So I guess that makes sense why this is starting off like that. It's starting off in the same way. Like that's the starting point, is having that innocence and then having that innocence being ripped away and like having their eyes open to the other side. So I think that's what the fire is. That's like being ripped away and the eyes are open to the other side. That must be Suga, right? Because there's the piano right here. I can't really tell, but my guess is that that would be Suga. The piano looks like it was on fire. Everything looks like it was on fire. Is this a painting or like a projection? It's a forest. I don't think we've seen a forest before. But it's like that, but it's a nice contrast between what we would assume is like life, like plants, trees and stuff, and then all of this dead. Like the ground is gray with all of the ash. So it's a nice contrast. This is kind of funny because we can see all of like the seams from like the fake grass everywhere. Not the point. What I'm like looking at is the apple and the blindfold. So this is like where Suga was testing. So this is where like Suga was testing Jimin in that. So this is where Suga was testing Jimin in that room. Maybe this is what he was seeing in his blindfold. I don't know. And this is that exact same imagery that we saw for J-Hope. At the end of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we see him... At the end of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we see him like fire that arrow at V. So now it looks like all of the arrows came back at him, and he's the one sitting there. But now it looks like all of the arrows came back at him. Like this is enough arrows that like an entire army shot them. I don't know if you've seen that like in movies where the entire like line of people just shoot the arrows at the same time. That is beautiful. So the camera's like rotating. I feel like that is bringing things into perspective and bringing things into reality. Like the horizon level is getting leveled. So we are seeing things for how they are. It's kind of how I feel like that rotation seems. That's kind of how I feel like that rotation, that's kind of how I feel like that's what the rotation means. But we are seeing his own reflection, or he's seeing his reflection. He's seeing his reflection in the water. Again, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we see the water. Again, in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we see the water with J-Hope. And he first looks at the water and it's nice and calm. This is like the calm before the storm. So Jin is looking at his reflection in this nice, calm water. But I don't know if it's the pool itself or the room, whatever the case, his reflection is darker than him. So it's like a dark reflection of himself. I like this video a lot, actually. I like that I know what this is about, too. There's so much like stuff about wings and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Like, I feel like this video is just an extension of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. But we do have this nice contrast between the pure white and the black, and he's even wearing white and black. He's wearing the white and the black because, you know, from Blood, Sweat, and Tears, he becomes the... What do you call it? It's not like... What is Abraxas? What do you call that, though? He's wearing the white and the black because in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, like at the end of it, he's able to keep that balance between good and bad. Hello, words? He's wearing the white and the black, and at the end of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we learn that he's keeping the balance between good and bad. So he is evenly... So he's evenly wearing white and black. Oh, that part, I love it so much. Okay, hello, there's a lot going on. Jimin's just flying up. That's like, who was it? Was it JK that was flying? I don't know, but as soon as he flies up, the blindfold comes off. Maybe it's like his temptation. And V sitting here on this black wood. It's kind of reminiscent of the Ash that we saw with Suga, but he's in the white void. I think that's before he like fully turned to like the evil. Is that Jin? Jin is on that exact same black wood with all of this breaking glass. So the breaking glass is like foreshadowing to the end of this where he breaks, where his skin breaks. But we've also seen like, oh no, that's RM. Is that RM? I think so. That probably makes more sense. It's RM with the broken glass. Like the broken glass is a thing that just keeps coming back. Like we keep seeing reflections and those reflections breaking. It's kind of foreshadowing this entire video, or at least Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It's foreshadowing how everything like is breaking apart, how their whole like perception of themselves and the world around them is breaking. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot of J-Hope. Okay, the apple is coming out of the water. So that's kind of cool. So we talked about like the water being the calm before the storm, and that apple is such like a strong representation of temptation. So the apple being the one to disrupt the water, that's just obvious. Like that's like the temptation itself disrupting the calm. See the beautiful paintings again. Oh, that's such a cool shot. V literally looks like a statue. He looks like Abraxas, I think. I think it got revealed in the same. I think it got revealed in a similar way, but it looks so beautiful. He's consumed by the darkness here. That's why his whole body is. He's consumed by the darkness here. That's why he's only a shadow. Oh, J-Hope is levitating too. Wow. Oh my God. So everybody is levitating, it seems like. This is after he shot the arrow, I'm guessing. I don't know. He was like supposed to be at war with V or something. And him shooting that arrow was him like leaning into like that temptation. So maybe this levitating is him like realizing or like leaning into that temptation even more or something. Like accepting some of the darkness. Again, we're seeing this like dark reflection of Jin. Is this the same pool? Is he like just floating on the pool like this? I don't know, maybe. But he's gonna kiss this dark reflection of himself the same way that he ends up kissing Abraxas. So this is like foreshadowing him coming to terms and accepting the darkness and like that balance. The paintings are bleeding. Oh, the wings. Okay, so he wasn't he wasn't just floating there. He was just leaning in. That makes a lot more sense. Wait, who is that? I can't tell. We've already seen Jimin and J-Hope. Maybe it's JK? I don't know. I love how the light is like hitting his skin. Like the wings are coming out so like rigid. They're so sharp. And that's so like on brand. With V being the representation of like the darkness. Of course, like of course, the wings are going to be sharp. This looks painful. Oh, but it looks so good. Oh my God. This looks like straight out of like a horror movie right here. It's like some skeleton wings. It looks amazing. So is that Suga? Yeah, it is Suga because we saw this at the beginning. This was that, again, I don't know if it's a painting or like a projection. But the forest was green. Hello, a lot going on here again. The forest was green just the same way that like the absinthe, the smoke was green. So that green smoke is definitely representative of absinthe. So this looks like V. So maybe he doesn't want to be like the representation of evil. He might not even want his wings because he looks like he's stuck. He's stuck here in purgatory or wherever it is that they are. So there's a little butterfly with all of these colors because colors were like the representation of their pain, their blood, sweat, and tears. So we see all of these beautiful colors. And then we see Suga with the butterfly on his mouth. So it's kind of like a match cut. It's not really like a match cut. It's kind of like a match cut because we're seeing the same imagery and then we're seeing it again. It's such a beautiful shot. The lighting is nice and like soft on his face. It looks so beautiful. So again, right here, like that green paint is coming off. Like that's his blood. Like these wings hurt him. These wings hurt him. And I love that every single shot of him has this stark contrast between like this white and this black. Every single shot. Even his body. Half of his body is white, half of it is black. His wings are black. Like there's always that contrast between black and white. The wings look amazing though. They look so beautiful. So that must be RM because we see the broken glass. In the room, there's one scene where he's in this room that's filled up with this green smoke. So this has to be RM. And again, that green smoke is that absinthe. Looks beautiful. Smoke looks so beautiful on camera. Oh. V is like smiling while Jin starts to crack. I don't know if he's evil as much as he wants to just open his eyes to the possibility of evil. I don't know. Oh my God, the cracking, it looks so good. Look at that, there's like depth. There's nice depth here. I think that would be a really cool like scene to recreate. I think that'd be a really cool scene to recreate or just like a tutorial or something. I've been talking about doing these tutorials and I'm gonna start doing them very soon. I wanna get done with my recreation video because it's taking forever. It's taking a while. But after that recreation video, I want to start doing these tutorials. So maybe this would be like the next one is showing like how to get your skin to crack and crumble. And it's so beautiful. That's a very beautiful shot too, actually. We're seeing that light pass. We're seeing it pass by RM. And when that light's gone, he's a shadow. Like he is darkness. Maybe that light is hope. I don't remember if RM was very strict on like what side he was on. But just from this visual alone, if we take this, but just from this visual alone, like if we look at only this and not the rest of it, that light is passing him. That light is passing through him and it's fading away. So he's being consumed by darkness. So just from this shot, I would think that he's losing hope. And then Jimin crying. Now Suga's floating. Jin's breaking. Tell me that doesn't look like a flower. That kind of looks like the stem, like the little leaves in the stem. It looks good. I'm surprised that this shadow on his face isn't more pronounced. He's getting up. Oh my God, look at his eyes. They did such a good job on the eyes. Like they're popping out so much. Like we can really see the color of his eyes. And then all of this paint. I'm pretty sure that's added after the fact too. Like this original shot was just him and his eyes. Because I don't know how you would practically do this unless you have like a tube, but then you need 3 tubes because they're different colors. Besides the point, this looks amazing. And they're using split lighting. They're using split lighting with all of these shots actually. So half of their face is always consumed by the shadow. It's like they're split between the light and the dark. Oh, so yes, this part, he's actually like a statue. That's something that I think I had a really good idea with my reaction to Blood, Sweat, and Tears, is that another way that you can look at it is that they are immortalizing themselves with their music the same way that all of these statues and works of art are forever immortalized. So like they are becoming the work of art. That's amazing. It looks so good. Oh, it's like so dramatic, like this slow zoom out. Beautiful. There's a lot of stuff that I cut out. So if you want to watch my raw, uncut reaction to this video, check the Patreon link in the description below. I want to give a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, specifically Charity, Jemmy, Kimberly, Lisa, Lucas, Melissa, Miss Heiju, and Victoria. If Patreon isn't available, do I add that? Yeah, I guess. If Patreon isn't available, I do have YouTube channels. If Patreon isn't available in your country, if Patreon isn't available where you are, I do have YouTube channel memberships. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. And all right. This was kind of like a teaser for my breakdown video of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I go more in depth about like the filmmaking aspect and what everything really means as far as like cinematography and the set design and the camera angles and how that relates and is able to tell the story, not so much like the story aspects themselves.